I had no plans on recording y'all. I just set up the camera and we gonna rock with how it rock. We got to put some glasses on too. I mean, bro. Okay, so I had no genuine intention of making a video. I was gonna wait till Sunday where we record the Game Top Pod. Thanks for all the love on that, by the way. But I had to get on here and talk, man. Like genuinely. Okay, so I've done a lot of like back and forth on my Instagram and Twitter about how I feel about the Shedeur Sanders situation, and I still really don't know how to feel yet. I will say this: Cam Ward was obviously the better quarterback. As of right now, that can change, but as of right now, Cam Ward was the better QB. I Jackson Dart getting drafted by New York wasn't surprising because for about 2 weeks now, at least me and all the reports I was seeing, it was pretty clear New York was going to take Jackson Dart. I thought the Giants would take him, but they didn't. But I was pretty set on. Well, no, I was set on the Giants taking Travis Hunter. If you go back to the mock draft episode on the Game Time Pod, but I was set on that. So when New York traded back in, I pretty much knew it was going to be Dart because I'd seen reports that they really wanted Dart. A lot of New York reporters were saying they were going to come back to get Dart in the first round. So when it happened, I was hyped just because I like seeing teams straight up. But man, Tyler Shook, however the heck you say it, bro. Tyler Shook, are we serious? I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Tyler Shook to get drafted ahead of Shedeur. It's befuddling. I didn't expect that. And then Dylan Gabriel, uh, Ramon, who's on the podcast with me, he's not too surprised. He did call this. I'll give him credit. He did call this. Um, I think the one thing I do agree with is when you look at Shedeur on a quarterback level, he's just average. He's average at throwing the ball. He's average at running the ball. And if you look at a lot of his throws in college, they're like 5 yard throws. There's no crazy throws to show if he has an arm or not. He's just average, which is fine. I'm not, but I think the biggest point tonight, I can't say I think the media played a part in it, and to some of the anonymous NFL exec and coaches who were saying what they said and decided to be named anonymous, you're a coward. You're a coward for doing that. First off, because that definitely played a part into it. But I think the other part that comes into it is how did those pre-draft interviews go? Right? I mean, the reports can say they did bad, they did good. I'm not taking them crazy into account, but at some point I gotta assume the interviews were not that good for people to not. I mean, he just dropped to the fourth round, like, and he could drop even further. Like Jalen Milrow, I kind of said it. I don't think I said it on the pod. I'd have to go back and watch, but it was Cam Ward and then everyone else, bro. Like at that point, you can kind of pick who you want, and that's basically what these teams have done that drafted a quarterback. They basically just picked who they want without being like, you know, the media had Shedeur ranked second, but you look at the Giants, they had Jackson Dart ranked second. You look at the Saints, they had Tyler Shook ranked. I'm just gonna assume third or second, right? Because Cam Ward wasn't going to be in their range. So in their mind, because the Saints wanted Dart too, it probably went Dart, Shook, and then whoever else they had. I think Milrow, Ewers, and Will Howard. I think those three guys could be just as good or even better than Shedeur in the NFL. And two of those guys haven't even gotten picked yet. I think Quinn Ewers could be the best quarterback out of this draft if he lands to the right spot. That's the other thing too. It's really eye-opening to me that Pittsburgh has not taken a quarterback. Either they have Aaron Rodgers sealed, they got him sealed in at QB, or they're I don't know what Pitts. Honestly, I don't know who they're going to take. Maybe they are going to take Quinn Ewers, right? Or maybe they're going to take Will Howard. I got to turn a fan on real quick, but I don't know. I'm low key shocked, and I just wanted to get on here and get something out because I just like my thoughts will be more processed once I record with the fellas on Sunday. But I'm shocked, man. I can't believe. I mean, I do feel bad for him a little bit because it's definitely it feels unprecedented, you know. And I was saying it to Daryl, um, yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I was like, I've never seen quarterbacks just be like, "Yep, we're not gonna take a quarterback. We're gonna move. We're just gonna take we're gonna take what we need. What else we need? We're not gonna take a quarterback." This is crazy. I mean, it never like Lonzo never got this hindered by his dad talking. Lamelo was or Lavar was a little bit more quieter during the whole Lamelo thing, but Lavar was very loud during Lonzo's draft, and he still went second overall. But the difference between Lavar in Lonzo's case compared to this case is Lonzo was viewed as this great talent coming into the league, like he makes people better, and that's still the case at point guard. He makes a lot of good passes. He makes when you look at the stat sheet, players usually get better stats if Lonzo's at point guard. But in this case with Shedeur, and Nick Wright had said it best, and I just watched a clip of him. He said, you know, I think a lot of NFL teams feel that Shedeur was being micromanaged to succeed, right? And like I just said, a lot of his passes were like 5-yard throws. So there was a lot that goes into why Shedeur fell. And I think it has to do with the media. I think it has to do with Dion. I think it has to do. I mean, you could go with it's how he carries himself, and people are like, Shedeur. Why is it a problem that he's cocky? I don't think it's a problem that he's cocky. And if he is, I mean, Baker Mayfield was cocky. He still went he went number one overall, and I don't think it's a matter of black and white because there's been cocky black NFL players that went high up and there was no problem. We've had players with character issues that have, somebody said it on, I forgot who said it in the media, but somebody said, these players have these Mike Green, the Marshall linebacker that went tonight, he slipped because he had a sexual assault allegation, and teams immediately knocked him off the board. But even he got drafted over Shedeur tonight. So I don't think character issues or him being cocky are the main issues here. For me, it's probably Dion, Shedeur's football ability and IQ, and those pre-draft interviews. That's what I'm labeling it down to. I'm not thinking race, and I'm not going off his character. Now, there definitely could be teams that didn't like how he acted in his character. That's always put into question when you're in this scenario. And then somebody else said in the media, you're hiring employees at this point. You're paying them to come in and do a job like if I'm getting paid in to go work as well. So it's like you don't want to bring someone in that's going to tear up the environment. And bringing in Shedeur, you're not just bringing in Shedeur, you are bringing in Dion. Because at some point, everyone assumes that Dion's going to be like, well, my kid needs to be playing. And NFL teams don't want to deal with that, especially if it's not guaranteed he's going to be at least good in the league. Like Lonzo is good, maybe even better than good. And that's why nobody really cared. That's why the Lakers didn't pass, and nobody and like that's literally it. Like I said, LeVar was more quieter. He was just more quiet during the LaMelo draft run. I mean, he was still a little vocal, but he was a lot more quiet. But LaMelo also became an all-star, right? And I don't think LaMelo was ever not going to be an all-star. Even then, LaMelo should have went to the Warriors, right? So the difference is Shedeur. It's crazy because it's like the more and more we've gotten through this draft process, the more and more I do question why was he ranked so high. Because in my mind I'm like, okay, it makes sense, right? Yeah, and usually when you're put in a system in college, usually it doesn't affect your draft stock. But since it was his dad, I think that's what's made it. I think that's what maybe has teams hesitant because when you look at it, I mean, Jackson Dart was in a system. Milrow was, you could say, in a system, and they all got drafted over Shedeur. So I think it does have to do a lot with Dion, and not only that, just his football ability and his tangibles, which his throwing is average, his athleticism is okay. It's not. The reason AR went so high was not only because teams needed quarterbacks, but his upside on the athleticism side of things was through the roof. And Shedeur has nothing that's through the roof. Like with Cam Ward, I'm not gonna say he's great at anything. He has it, but he does have a good arm. Where we say Shedeur's average at things, Cam Ward is good, 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 and maybe even great in some categories if you think that. To me, I think he's just good in a lot of those categories. Um, it's crazy, man. I really thought he was going to go to Pittsburgh at 21 in the first round, and then I definitely thought Pittsburgh was going to take him in the third round, and they just didn't. And even leading up to this draft, Pittsburgh was the name that I was hearing. Like Tomlin liked Shedeur, Tomlin liked the process and how it went, and he just I don't know. Like that's what makes me think. Like what is Pittsburgh thinking? And then on the other side, how did those Shedeur interviews go? It's wild. I'm actually shocked that he didn't get drafted tonight. He's going to day three. Day three. The pod is going to be real interesting on Sunday. I can't wait to get to record that, and because Ramon called it. Ramon called it about Shedeur. He and honestly, even Dion said, or not Dion, Daryl said that I had a lot of my adult peers and my stepdad be like, he's gonna slip. I didn't think he was gonna slip, and I said it to them. I'm like, usually when teams need a quarterback, they will reach. And like I said, and I also said props to these NFL teams for not reaching because no one in this quarterback class other than Cam Ward is in my opinion, Cam Ward's base is guaranteed to stay in the league. Even if he's not great and he's not the franchise guy, he's going to be a backup or a solid backup. Like obviously, it's not worth a number one pick, but he's going to be in the league for. He's gonna retire as a 15-year NFL vet, if you ask me. Where these other guys, they may be the third string. Like Cam Ward's gonna retire and he's gonna have a lot of snaps under his belt. You could say a lot of these guys are projects, and if they don't work out, they're gonna be a backup, maybe a third string. Like for me, I'm a big Quinn Ewers guy. I think if Ewers goes to the right spot, Quinn Ewers is gonna be really good because you just gotta if you nurture him and develop him, he's gonna be good. Same thing with Milrow. I think Milrow going to Seattle, it may get scary. Jalen Milrow may be the future in Seattle if they develop him right. And Milrow, obviously, works in that development and does what he needs to do. But I think Ewers and Milrow could be better than Shedeur Sanders in the NFL. As for Shedeur, though, I think Pittsburgh would have been the best spot. If he goes to Pittsburgh, I think things are real different for Shedeur and his development. I think Shedeur could be great if he goes to Pittsburgh. If he goes anywhere else, like if he would have went to Seattle, I could say great. But if he would have went to Cleveland, I don't think it would have worked. I think he can be good. But I think if he goes to a certain team, he could be great. And obviously, you can say that for a lot of people. But I mean, that's just how it works. That's the name of the game. If he goes to Pittsburgh, I think he could be great. If he would have went to Seattle, I think he could have been great. I do think there's a possibility Dallas will take him now. We're in the 5th and 6th and 7th round. Dallas has had a good draft up to this point. I'm as a Cowboys fan, and you guys can check the videos, like the earlier videos on this channel. I was very turned off with the Cowboys. I still am with the Schottenheimer hire. Schottenheimer hire. Say that 5 times. But I'm still pretty off the Cowboys, but I am impressed in what they did with this draft tonight. Or, well, even tonight. Yesterday, I liked the pick. It was a bit of a reach, but he played offensive line for Bama. He's gonna be in Canton in a couple of years. Right? Come on now. He's gonna be in Canton, Ohio. But I like what the Cowboys have done through 2 days of the draft so far. I could see them taking Dak now. I could definitely see them taking Dak Prescott, taking Shedeur Sanders now. I thought we were gonna do it in the first round because that's just the Jerry thing to do. But Jerry's killed it this draft. He's killed it. I got to give the Cowboys props. They're doing well in this draft. I can see the Cowboys taking him. I can see the Colts taking him because ain't nothing. I live in Indy. Ain't nothing solidified at quarterback over here. And there could be a team that I'm not. I can't even think of that may take him. Off the top of my head, I was about to say New Orleans, but they took Tyler Shook, who, by the way, is 30 years old. Yeah, that's not going to work. Dylan Gabriel went to Cleveland. Yeah. Will Howard's still on the board. Like I really like Will Howard. But hey, man, Sunday's gonna be good. I'm gonna have to really make some points on Sunday when I get on the pod with Daryl and Ramon. But I had to get on here and talk. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter, and before I go, man, I really don't like Jason Whitlock, y'all. Jason Whitlock is, hey man, he he's something. He's definitely he not like us. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna see y'all later. Keep liking the Game Time Pod. Yeah, I'm very proud of the Game Time Pod. We doing great things. We're gonna keep posting. I may make more solo videos like this, but we're gonna have to see. For now, we're gonna see how the next couple days, and we're gonna see how tomorrow goes. Where will Shedeur end up? And then Sunday, Shedeur very well may get his own segment. So I'll see y'all then.